So in 2021, the question was asked from federal, right? Please remember this, the term federalism, the term unitary system, the term parliamentary form of democracy and the presidential form of democracy. You should be knowing each and everything about these particular four things. First is federal system or federalism, unitary system, political or parliamentary form of democracy, or the presidential form of democracy, right? So here the question is being asked from the federal or federalism. Federalism means, or federal character means, whenever there is division of power so that each federal unit can work independently and to achieve the goals of national development. Now, the independence of judiciary is safeguarded. It is an essential feature that indicates that India is a federal in character. The independence of judiciary is safeguarded in federal system. Let's wait for a while. The union legislature has elected representative from the constituent units. The union cabinet have elected representative from the regional party, or the fundamental rights are enforceable by the court of law, right? So D option is incorrect because it is talking about the guarantee which the fundamental rights are providing us. Again, the union cabinet can have elected representative from the regional party. Regional party in itself is not making any sense into the union cabinet. Again, a very generic statement that has been provided. Again, this cannot be the answer for referring to the federal character of the India as a state. Then B option is saying that union legislature has elected a representative from the constituent unit, right? Again, it is one of the form of parliamentary form of democracy where the directly elected, representative are sitting in the Lok Sabha. Again, it is not the answer. The option that is left with us is the independence of judiciary is safeguarded in case we are having federal character. Is it clear? So, we shall be moving to next question. Again, the question is framed on the similar lines. That a constitutional government by definition is, again the answer is limited government. Why so? Because constitutional government is basically talking about how we can limit the powers of the people who are sitting in the state. Now, a government by legislature, again a type of government. A popular government means the government that has been directly elected by the citizens of India, right? So, popular government means the person who are sitting in Lok Sabha and, to be specific, making the Council of Minister. A multi-party government, again, it is not talking about the constitutional government. Is it clear? So, this particular theme of constitutional government has been repeated by UPSC for the past 3 times, right? So, again, you can expect the question on the similar line that constitutional government means what? Please remember that it means a government which is limited in its power. Now, let's come to 2018 question. You need to understand that in polity, again and again, the themes will be repeated. For example, in case of constitutional government, we saw that almost 3 times the question has been framed from the constitutional government. Same is the case with the liberty. Already one question we have seen. Now let's come to the second question which has been asked from liberty. Which one of the following reflect the most appropriate relationship between law and liberty? Let's try to read it one by one. First statement is saying that if there are more laws, there is less liberty. Second statement is saying that if there is no law, there is no liberty. If there are liberty, laws have to be made by the people. If laws are changed too often, liberty is in danger. If you want to understand the most, correct answer or most appropriate answer, here is option number B. If the government is making no law, then no one can enjoy the liberty or the freedom that has been given by the Constitution. The government is making certain law, for example, the rules and regulation whenever you are walking on the road, the rules and regulation regarding the management of a particular urban area, waste management rules and certain things like that. So, if the government is making no law, then no one liberty can be ensured. So, the correct option here is B, that if there are no laws, there is no liberty. Because we understood that liberty can be ensured or liberty can be there if the laws are being made by the state and those laws should not be arbitrary in nature. Then only liberty can exist. So, option B is the correct answer. Again, third time, the liberty or the concept of liberty has been repeated by the UPSC in the year 2019. Let's try to understand the question. In the context of polity, which one of the following would you accept as the most appropriate definition of liberty? See, in political theory, the options which the UPSC is given, they are in itself is independently in itself, they are correct. But you need to understand the question is saying that most appropriate definition. It means some of the options could also be correct independently. But you need to give the answer that in case of liberty, what you can say that this is the 99% definition of liberty. Because these particular questions are coming from political theories. So in political theory, nothing is static. It is just on the base of premise of the idea that what could be the most appropriate definition of liberty, fraternity, equality. Is it clear? So let's try to understand the option. Protection against the tyranny of political rulers. Absence of restraint. Opportunity to do whatever one like. Or opportunity to develop oneself fully. Right? First statement is saying that protection against tyranny of the political ruler. This statement or this option in itself is correct. But this is not the most appropriate definition of liberty. Right? It is basically about restriction or restricting the powers of the state. If there is absence of restraint, we do not call this particular thing as liberty, but call it as freedom. Right? Again, B is incorrect. Opportunity to do whatever one likes. Again, this is not the liberty, but the freedom. If anyone wants to do whatever the person like, it might harm the fundamental right or it might harm the freedom of the other person. So this cannot be the most appropriate definition of liberty because liberty is talking about freedom but with the help of restriction. But those restrictions should not be arbitrary in nature. So the D option you can say is the most appropriate definition of liberty. That is opportunity to develop oneself fully, right? Liberty is talking about that you should be given the independence that whatever you like, whatever you want to pursue, you can do so and you can develop yourself fully. And this particular freedom should not be hampered by anyone else in the society. Now let's move to 2017 question. Which of the following is not a feature of Indian federalism? There is an independent judiciary in India. Powers have been clearly divided between center and state. Yes, powers have been divided between center and state. The federating units have been given unequal representation in Rajya Sabha. Again, this particular statement is correct because in Rajya Sabha, the union territories which do not have the legislative assembly, they are not having the representation. As we are talking about the northeastern state, again they are having very unequal representation if we are going to compare it with the mainland India. So again, this statement is correct. But fourth option is talking about that it is the result of agreement between or among the federating units. So this particular statement is incorrect because India is a union of state, where the states are not coming together and signing the agreement with India, but it is the India which is creating the states in, in the territory. It is not the opposite. It is not the opposites. States are not signing the agreement to form the India, but first we made the India and then we created the states in India, right? So in India, we do not have a type of federalism which is talking about that states in India have signed the particular agreement to become or to be a part of Indian Union. But it is the India that came into picture first, and then we thought of creating the states for the better efficiency, for the better administrative efficiency. So the question was asked that which is not the feature of Indian federalism. So the option D is not the feature of Indian federalism. Right? So these are certain questions that have been asked from the previous year question or previous year, which is talking about or which is referring to the political theory and terminology. So it's my request that after watching this particular video, please go and read the NCERT book and also go for revising certain things. For example, federal system, for example, parliamentary form of government, and certain topics which is giving the idea or which is based on ideology, right? I'll see you in the next part.